50% of businesses usually fail within the first 2 years. However, 90% of Hispanic-owned businesses, they fail within the first year. So that was a big disparity in what we were looking at, and we said, you know what? Just based on that alone, I think we have a social cause here to be able to bring about some type of technology, some type of community, some type of education to be able to help and support the 5 million Hispanic businesses that are out there nationwide. And these numbers are what basically drove us to start Negosy 2 years ago. So when I started my practice 11 years ago, I really noticed the data regarding these small Hispanic businesses and why they were lagging behind on the general market. There's not enough Hispanic-owned businesses that scale in a way where they need 10, 20, 30, 100 employees that get to $1 million of revenue or value. A lot of it was because they didn't have the tools and the resources and the education to really learn how to grow. And they were afraid. It's very difficult to come into this country, have to learn English, and then you have to learn the laws, and then you have to try to get a job. Maybe you decide that you want to be a business owner, but you have no resources to be able to go down that road and do it the most efficient and the most legal way.
Latinos are building businesses more than any other race. We know they have those skills and possibilities out there, but they're not getting to those high-level opportunities. They might have their EIN and they might have their small insurance here and there, but they don't have certain classifications as a minority business or a certain license that they need, just because they might not know that it's easy to take an exam or go to a course. But it's even more than just education. It's more access to these tools and opportunities. They don't trust the government in keeping their money in the bank. And removing that fear is definitely what has caused this boom of business owners to grow so rapidly amongst the Latinos.
I was born in Bogota, Colombia, immigrated here in the early 70s. Currently, we own Granos de Café. Latinos that come here that are Spanish dominant have a hard time navigating, even through the city's bilingual websites, to get a permit or something. Just opening a restaurant in New York could be so overwhelming because there's so many different layers. You have to basically have a playbook on all the different things you gotta do before you even open the doors. A lot of people that save their money to try to start a business in New York, a lot of immigrants, get taken advantage of by people that say they're experts. In New York City, it's so hard to navigate through everything. The Department of Health, city inspectors, liquor license, a workers' comp. If you don't have a resource for that information, it could become a little overwhelming. Even someone who's been in business for a while.
Immigrants are not here to take away. They're here to build work, build companies, and they're doing it all through a legal structure. They're hiring employees, getting permits, opening restaurants. They contribute so many tax dollars to the United States and contribute so much to this country and actually create jobs. They contribute to unemployment, Social Security, Medicare, when they don't even know if they're able to get that service back. They are making this country a much better country for all of us.
Our GDP is $2.7 trillion in 2021. $690 billion in buying power. And in 2021, we paid $215 billion in taxes. So we're a big part of the economic consumer index of this country. One of the things that's also on the mind of Negozee is the amount of Hispanic CEOs and board members in corporate America, in large companies. Last year it was 23, this year it's only 20. That number is way too low. If we got 20 in Fortune 500, meanwhile our GDP is $790 billion. Those numbers are not adding up. We're the customers, but we're not sharing in the equity. The equity inclusion is not there.
Negosy is a social learning platform in Spanish about building your business in the United States. You find yourself coming into a community of all these Latinos doing business, and it's so amazing to see how Latinos are coming together and helping each other out.
Negosee wants to be the platform that can get their question answered. We want to put the best classes, best shows, and the best information out there to our small business owners in Spanish, but we also want to go into these communities and actually give them the courses. So we're really there to connect, educate, and support them nationwide.
I logged on to Cafecito with Negosy, where they had experts in Spanish. For a lot of people that are not fluent in English, I was able to get answers to the questions about the ERC credit. Am I qualified? How much am I eligible for? What's the paperwork that I have to put in? Negozee's been able to not only give you access to the information, but also build a community. That's what it's really about, to help the next generation or the next wave of immigrants start their own thing.
The Hispanic community, we're all very hardworking. We do make money. You can't pay $2 billion in taxes if you're not making money. But the little difference there is turning that money, turning that work, turning that small business into a valuable, equitable asset that can be either sold one day, that people can invest in one day, that can grow to something larger than just a small company.